Hello, everybody. Um, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Betsabe. A lot of people call me Betsy because it's easier to pronounce. And I attended the Art Institute of Phoenix, and I was hoping to obtain a bachelor's degree in digital filmmaking and video production. For anyone in that field, anyone that I might know, hello, it's good to see you again. For any other students, any other degree programs in anywhere else, fashion, design, whatever. It's nice to meet you. It's nice to finally get to meet you. It's been a really long week, and I'm trying to get this video recording done as quickly as possible and as efficiently as possible because I have to go to work in a little bit. I have to go and get ready, but I really need to urgently give you some information on things that you need to do and act quickly on as soon as possible. We understand that a lot of you, and right now I'm reaching out to a lot of graduates who have graduated from the Art Institute of Phoenix and have not received your degree. Ever since we had suspicions that the school was closing and they refused to tell us anything, I already started digging around and doing some reading and some research. I've been talking to lawyers, I've been talking to people in the government, I've been talking to people in DCEH, trying to find people in EDMC, the people who used to own us, talking to staff, talking to everybody I possibly can to get as much information as I can. And right now I feel like I've reached a point where I'm able to give you as much information as possible. I'm not an expert, but I have a lot of information that can help you out in terms of whether or not you want your money back or whether you want to make sure that regardless of what happens, you get your degree and that's all you care about. We want to help you. I want to help you because I've received a lot of information. And that's why I'm making this video and reaching out to you today. Instead of giving you like this really long paragraphs and things that you're not going to read, I was hoping to just make a video to make it a lot easier for most of you. We are going to have a town meeting, I believe, on March 5th. It's on a Sunday. I don't know of the time. If you can join our private Facebook group, please do. I'll link information with this video. So you guys can have that information with you. That's how we're going to be communicating a lot and bringing out and posting different things that we can do. And I'm going to clarify a lot of other things when we have that meeting. I know you're going to have a lot of questions because I had a lot of questions, and I try to list out all the possible questions and possibilities and reached out to the best, highest, most people in authority that could help us. And I received some answers. Some of it is good, some of it is bad. So prepare yourselves. But right now there are critical things that you need to do now in terms of the future of EDMC and the future of AI and in your future in terms of your degree. So the first thing that we were told that needs to be done immediately is you need to file a complaint with the district attorney's office from the state of Arizona. So basically what happened was I've been communicating with someone named Keith. This is going to be a long phrase, and he works for the Department of Post-Secondary Education here in Arizona. And they are in charge of regulating all post-secondary education schools and colleges. They have this big meeting every month where they meet with basically all the colleges in Arizona, and they go through and they ask them questions and they review their transcripts and if they're making money, if there's any issues. Our school had to go through that as well. So I was advised to go to this meeting, and about 2 days ago I went to that meeting, and I met with a lot of people that gave me this information. One of them was a representative from the district attorney's office from Phoenix, Arizona, that informed me that they've been investigating our school ever since we were owned by EDMC. I know a lot of you feel that DCEH or Dream Center like kind of ruined everything, but to be quite honest with you, our school was a sinking ship for a long time. And the district attorney's office told us that they've been investigating EDMC like years ago, been trying to get them. The biggest eye-opener that we heard was that their problem is that the only complaints that they're receiving right now, the post-secondary education, Department of Education, and the district attorney's office, the only complaints they've ever heard of are Argosy students. And I don't know if you're aware, you can log onto the website and find out what happened to them. It was very messed up. They like took their money and their money's gone and disappeared, and they closed, and they didn't even tell them that they were closing. It was crazy. So if you want to look that up, you can look that up on the internet. But they're the only ones that are coming up and complaining. When we went up to that meeting two weeks ago to meet with those board members from the city of Arizona, we were told that we were the first ones from AI to ever complain. And the thing is, they can't act and they can't move unless a citizen comes forward and complains. So we needed to do that immediately, especially because you may not know this, but DCEH is under receivership. They want to file bankruptcy. This goes all the way up to the federal government, all the way up to Betsy DeVos, who right now is in charge of the federal education umbrella of the country. It's under congressional investigation. Our district attorneys here, it's on a state level and it's on a federal level. It's like crazy right now. Everybody's talking about it. It's really a big deal. If you just Google it and do just some research on it, you can learn so much. So she mentioned that we need to complain, and the more that students complain, the more that they can do. Right now, Argosy has complained, so they have the legal right and obligation to start investigating what's going on. They can't investigate the fact that we're not receiving our diplomas because nobody has complained, nobody has said anything. So we need to start doing that. I just did that this morning. So I want to go ahead and show you what to do, and you can log on to their website, and you can see their website right up here. You could also Google the website right there. And then this is how you need to go and you need to file a fraudulent complaint with the district attorney's office. You're basically, what fraud basically is basically saying that a company or a business promised me these services. So if you pay me X amount of money to do this for me, we'll give you this in exchange, right? So fraud means they promised you something, you paid, or you're still paying, and you're not receiving that. So that's basically what happened to us, right? A lot of us, like myself, are still paying for my degree. Some of you have already paid or taken out school loans or whatever you needed to do that, and you haven't received your degree. You were promised a career service department that you didn't receive. You were promised a valued education, which a lot of us can argue we did not receive. So that right there constitutes fraud. So you go online, and you see the website up here. You can fill out the website, and then you can click on that link right there below that called consumer complaint. That's what you need to click on. And then at the bottom, you can see there that it says that there's like a wealth of information. So down here is like, what is fraud? What constitutes fraud? What's a consumer complaint? Kind of what verbiage you need to use so that you can qualify as like someone who actually is going through fraud. There's PDFs that you can download. You can download this application and fill it out and mail it to them, or you can do this application online. I do recommend that you do it online because obviously it's quicker, it's faster. If you can't do that, you can download the PDF. And if you don't have access to that, let me know. I can print the PDF for you. I can give you the PDF so you can mail it out whenever you can, or I'll mail it out for you. We just need a lot of complaints going quickly. So a couple of advice and tips. Before you start this, just keep in mind that you give yourself time. It's going to take about 20, maybe depending on how much you want to say, 30 minutes. So make sure that you have time to really sit down and really discuss and really go through all of this. It's really a simple process. They really make it really easy for you. They outline everything that you need. But again, I recommend that you have time to sit down and do this. Number two, I recommend that you get a lot of documentation out. Get all your emails that you've communicated. If you sent DCEH emails about, hey, when am I going to receive your degree? If you've made phone calls, if you have recordings, have all that with you when you're filling out that application because you're going to need that information. You're going to need information about your enrollment. They're going to ask you when you enrolled, when you started. I don't remember that. I was like 3 years ago, so I wish I had that with me. I'm telling you now, have all that information with you. Have your financial records with you on the table while you're filling all of this out. Okay. There are a lot of questions on there they're kind of difficult to answer because of the situation that we're in. But I do recommend, they are going to ask you what your complaint is, right? So why are you complaining? And we're basically complaining because we didn't receive our degrees, or we didn't receive the education we were told we were going to receive, and we were promised a career center. Basically anything that the school told you, either in writing or verbatim through their mouths, that they promised that they were going to give you, and you didn't get that, you have to let them know. You have to let them know. So if you write down a list, write down a statement and copy and paste it to that would make it go a lot smoother. But write down, they're going to ask you what your complaint is, and then they're going to ask you, did you reach out to somebody? You had this complaint, you had this problem. Did you reach out to somebody? Please be as transparent and honest as possible. If you were upset and you didn't reach out to anybody, be truthful and say that. If you were upset and you emailed people, then be truthful and say that you did. And then they're going to ask you, what did they tell you? What was their response? Were they cooperative? What did they say? They want to know. They basically want to be as specific as possible because they want to know if they have a case against them, which we were told that they do. And we were told that we need to fill this out, and that would help them tremendously against the case against them, against DCEH. So those are kind of some of the things that you're going to need. They're going to ask you like who the salesperson was, who the representative was. You don't have to fill out that information immediately. I left some things blank because it's a school. Like they ask how long was this product or service advertised. I just put it was advertised for the school's been running for 13 years. The school's been advertised for a long time. So the form is really kind of set up to be like a product or service. And we did receive a product or service through our institution. So there's some questions that you can't answer. And it's pretty straightforward. You're going to need the address of the school. And it's kind of hard. You can't really give them a phone number right now. So I'm going to provide you, if you look here below, if you look here, when they ask you the information, an email address and a phone number, you can't put the Art Institute of Phoenix address and phone number because it's not existent anymore. It's closed down. So you need to give them somewhere where they can reach. So I'm providing you this email and this phone number because when I reached out to DCEH for help, they told me these are the resources that you can use for help. And the interesting thing is when you call that number or when you send those emails, they don't really answer you. So I think it's important for you to provide that information so that the district attorney can see that the information that was provided for us is not working and they're not doing their job. Another thing that we learned is that right now they're under congressional investigation, and they are forced by Congress, by law, that whenever you reach out to them, they have to respond to you quickly within 24 hours. They have to respond to every student complaint, and if they don't do that, they're gonna get big trouble. So if you've reached out to them and heard no response lately, that's good. Write that down. Tell them that because that's gonna help out in their investigation. Yeah, you just fill everything out. Before you're finished, they're gonna give you a time to review everything. Towards the end, they're gonna ask you if you have any documentation that you can provide. You can download it in the application itself through online. You can provide them any documentation you want to, any emails, if you have a written statement from them, anything, whatever your complaint is. If your complaint is against financial aid, if your complaint is against GIL, if your complaint is against DCEH, any documentation you may have, recordings, phone calls, anything you can provide to them. There is a limited amount of space, but you can always email them back with more information. And then you review everything and you post it, and they send you an email right away saying we received it. It takes a couple of days for us to process this information because you have to keep in mind we're not the only case that they're dealing with. There are other corrupt companies, other corrupt things going on in Arizona that they're dealing with, so we're not the only ones, so it may take some time. But you're more than welcome. They provide phone numbers. If you don't want to fill out the application, call them, but make your voice heard. It's so important right now. It's just like mind-blowing that no one from AI has complained, so no one in the government can do anything on your behalf because you haven't told them to. So you need to come out and make your voice heard and say something and do something and make some action. Now with that said, this is why me and another student, Vanessa Bonilla, we went together to the Department of Education to these board meetings that they have every month. This is the website that you can go to. I highly recommend it. Go to this website. They have a wealth of information on anything on everything that's going on the school closure, on Argosy, on Art Institute. Everything is on there. Please log on. Here's the website. This is what the web page looks like. These are the places that you need to go to access information. Something that I was told that you need to do immediately, as soon as possible, is reach out to the department and get your transcripts. We can talk about degrees later in the meeting. That's a lengthier and longer process that I have to talk to you about. But as of right now, what you really need to do is get your transcripts. You need to email them and you need to ask them for your transcripts. What happens is that they have hundreds and hundreds of students, right? And they're getting all this, they're trying to go through all these records for us. We were told by them that it's not their job to do that, but they're doing it for us because they want to help us. So they're going through all these documentation, all these transcripts. And what they do is once they have all that information gathered, which takes some time, they go through another department, another sector called parchment, and they get all our information, all our transcripts. That takes a lengthy process, and that's something else we can discuss in the meeting. As of right now, please email them and ask them for your transcripts. Now, when I called, they told me that they don't really have all my transcripts. They have old transcripts. They don't have all of it. That's okay. If you call them or you contact them and they say, we only have your transcripts up to 2015 or 2016, can you please wait? Tell them no. Give me everything that you have now. I'll explain later in the meeting why that's so important. And if you need to know right away why that's so important, you can contact me, you can email me, you can give me a call, you can message me on Facebook, and I'm more than happy to discuss that with you. It's a long, long argument. I don't want to take much of your time, and I have to go to work soon. So just please take out your transcripts. And if they only give you your 2015 transcript or 16, or they don't give you your like official full transcripts, that's okay. Please keep that. You need any documentation right now. You need it. You need it. You need it. You need it. So please follow those steps. If you have any questions, any concerns, if you need any information, please reach out to me. Please reach out to these numbers, to these people. After this meeting, I'm going to give you a list of people that you need to contact. Contact people. Make your voice be heard. If you go on this website, you can see their meetings. You can see when they're having their meetings and when they're having their next. And you can read everything, right? You can download a PDF and you can see their whole itinerary. And this is the last time that we went. This was like about 2 days ago. And every meeting they have a recording and they record it. So if you want to hear what I said, if you want to hear what Vanessa said when we were in front of these people, you can. It looks like it hasn't been uploaded lately, but they have to by law upload it, and they have to record everything because it's a government hearing. So they have to do that. So please go online, please look at that. We're going to talk probably in the meeting about why it's important for us to be there on the next meeting and why we need to be there, but we'll talk about that in the meeting. But just so you guys can get an idea and just so you guys can understand how it kind of works and where you can get this information, that's where you can get it. After this meeting, I'm going to leave a bunch of information for you. Contact, email people, please make some noise, please. If you want any type of justice, if you want your degree, if you want your money back, if you're frustrated, whatever it is, please reach out to them. Please. This is the way to do it. This is what you need to do. Thank you so much for your time. Again, if you have any questions, please let me know. Please contact me. You can also contact Vanessa Bonilla. And contact DCH, contact all these people. Please make your voice heard. What happened to us is very unfortunate, and it's awful, it's terrible, it's illegal. So there are things that we can do to prevent this from happening again to anybody else. And there are options available for us. There is some glimmer of hope for us. So please do this. And yeah, thank you so much. I look forward. I hope all of you can be there. I hope to see every degree program there at the meeting, because the more people know, the better. Spread the word, please. Link this, send emails out. I'm only in the digital film department, so I know people there. But any graduate in that December, everybody needs to know. Spread the word. Be very careful about who you spread it to. Don't just spread it on every social media platform. Spread it to students specifically affected by this. If you know anybody in Argosy, spread it to Argosy. If you know anybody in the Art Institute of Phoenix, spread it around. It's very, very important for them to know what's going on. So please, spread the word. Please help us bring some type of justice to what happened to us.